Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. The second trailer for Chapter 6 just dropped today, so I will go ahead and react to it as usual. I will play it through once in its entirety, and then I will make comments on it accordingly. Here we go.
地球で大きな作戦が計画されています。作戦目標はグランドリバースの無力化、銀河の奪還。
なんだこれは。
あなたたちの記憶は書き換えられている。
これはウラリアの魔女。歴史は変わる。変えられるんだ。
一人じゃ死なせない。必ず連れて帰る。銀河月面より発進。
Okay. So, just to start off with here, first thing, nice to see Nambu again. So this is obviously the Resistance, and from what I was able to understand in the subtitles, and what little I can understand from the Japanese, it sounds to me like it's going to be something like there's going to be some kind of major operation, like kind of what we saw in the first trailer when they were going up against that major spider thing. So they want to take back control of the Grand Reverse, and they want to take back Ginga. Remember, Ginga in Japanese means galaxy. So when I see this word here, that's how I know that they're talking about Ginga. But I kind of figured that they were going to do that anyway. So that'll be interesting to see. The next thing here that I'm looking at here, Alphon again. It was hinted at in the end of the last chapter and in the first trailer as well that Alphon might actually become a good guy. He knows his memories have been rewritten. Actually, you know what? I think what's happening here is Alphon, because initially he did not have that belief, right? He knew the Yamato did not do what she did. So I think maybe Mother Desarium found out and rewrit his memories, and then it's Yuki who's trying to convince him what's going on. I don't know how much success she's going to have with that, but that'll be interesting. Nice to see Captain Toto again, too. It's been a while. Here's Yamato again over downtown Tokyo in 2026. And she's got a pair of F-15s on her tail. JMSDF, and they are loaded for bear. Look at that. Actually, maybe those are not F-15s. Actually, I'm not sure what those are. I don't know the JMSDF stuff very well. I thought it was F-15s. When I first heard about the next chapter, that's what I was told, it was F-15s, but I could be wrong. Can't tell. Did they fire, or is that just contrail? Well, those look like those are coming off the rails. Are they? They are. They're firing at her. That's not going to go down well for them. They should consider themselves lucky that Yamato's probably not going to fire back. But those missiles aren't going to even make a scratch on the wave motion shields. So that'll be interesting. Yep, see, this is what I was talking about here when it comes to Yuki talking to Alphon, telling him that yeah, his memories have been rewritten. Oops. Too far. Oh, come on. There we go. So that's again another resistance thing, it looks like. So it looks like this guy's going up against these guys. And these are the same guys here that I've been seeing, that I saw last time too, in the last trailer. I don't know if they look like they're probably Desarium now, just based upon the weapons that are discharging. It looks like they're Desarium. But then wherever this is, I don't know where this is. This could actually be on Earth in the 21st century. If it is, it'll explain the rest of this trailer really well. Again, we've got this going on here. They're talking about the Witch of Aurelia again, which I can't really seem to figure out. It seems like there's an aspect of it that is Desarium, but if that's the case, then that would imply that Desarium's been around in this galaxy a lot longer than the 2 years that everyone else thinks that they have been. That maybe some of them went further back in time like Yamato did. That this Earth is actually the Earth of 2026, which is what I think it is. And Desarium are present there as well. It's possible. Yep, see what I mean? So this is absolutely no question in my mind. Desarium infiltrated Yamato somehow. I don't think this is a recreation of Yamato. I don't think this is a fake of some kind. I don't think this is a vision. I think Desarium got into Yamato somehow, possibly through Analyzer, because in the last couple chapters we've seen Analyzer just kind of lurking around for like every major thing, and he hasn't said anything, so it's a little creepy. But that's what I think is going on, is that Analyzer is there because he's monitoring. Desarium somehow have gotten into his systems, and he's just monitoring, waiting to make a move. That's what I think is going on. So obviously they get to Dolmen and Agatha here, unfortunately. Hopefully they can take back the ship. I do believe they probably will. That's a little close for comfort. This is still obviously in the 21st century. Cutting the flyby a little close there, Yamato. You're watching a little too much Top Gun. Even Tom Cruise didn't cut it that close. That's really, really close. That's insanely close. That would have given everybody a pretty good fright. Alien ship scare indeed. Now we also have here, I think this is probably Makoto. And she's trying to get Ginga's first officer out of this capsule, which is supposedly what it takes to break the Desarium's control that they have over Ginga, which would make sense to me. Again, we got the same battle here. It's not a whole lot that's different in this trailer. It's really pretty much just kind of confirming stuff that I already knew. Yeah, see, this is... Is this on Yamato or Ginga? I feel like it could be either one, honestly. And I don't know the ship's interiors well enough to really tell. And they're part of the same class, too, so that doesn't help. I think, though, this is Yamato. Because I don't think we've ever really seen much of Ginga's interior, other than, like, the bridge, pretty much. And that's about it. Yeah, this is Yamato, because that's, Shima. Right there, that's Shima. So this is Yamato. So obviously, makes sense. Desarium somehow infiltrates the crew, however he does it. Gets comm badges on people, and things escalate from there. This, I have no idea what to think of. So this is something similar to what we saw the last time, but it sounds like, if I go ahead and play this section here real quick, and if you listen to what it sounds like a ship's taking off. Yeah, so I think this is Ginga taking off. I'm pretty confident this is Ginga taking off. These are all Desarium people in the way. Fuck them. They deserve to die. They're fuckwits. I have no patience left for Desarium anymore. After that dirty trick they pulled with Yamato last chapter, I just want them all to die. And I'll talk a little bit more about why here in a bit. But yeah. Yeah, that definitely Ginga. Holy cow, look at her. So, she's got a huge engine plume behind her. She's got her wave motion shields deployed, as you can see. Now, normally when the shields are deployed, they'll light up blue a little bit, like when something hits them. But they don't glow like this, and certainly the ship itself is not supposed to glow. Now, when Yamato glowed, it was because her pure wave motion core activated somehow, like full potential-wise. And she got a supercharger out of the deal. And who knows what else. We still don't know what else she got. We know she's insanely overpowered, like big time, more so than she was before. So I wonder, considering Ginga has a CRS, which itself was also of Iskandarian origin, by the way. It was also made from materials with Iskandar. Its final piece was Earth material, but the rest of it is Iskandarian. And that's what powers Ginga's engines. That is her engine. basically, is the CRS. That's why they can't replace it. That's why they can't give her a normal core, because she was literally built around this. So I wonder if the same phenomenon that affected Yamato is maybe affecting Ginga as well. That would be interesting if that was the case. So, I'm going to try to keep this one short here. So, predictions. First prediction, I feel like, is we're going to see the major battle, like the final battle, between the Resistance and the Grand Reverse on Earth. I'm almost certain we're gonna see at least the start of it. Yamato is probably going to show up and finish it off, as is her wont, typically at the very end. But I think this is really going to be like the climax, essentially, of it. I mean, all of this looks like Desarium HQ, whatever. This looks like it's probably on the moon, right? The other thing that I'm thinking is going to happen is Alphon, we're going to see for certain which way Alphon actually falls. Whether he falls in line with Yuki and gets killed for it, or he goes back to Desarium but still has a soft spot for Yuki and tries to defend her and ends up dying for it anyway. We don't know. I'm pretty confident either way he's going to die. I don't see him surviving. Now, granted, they have kept a lot of other characters around that in the original died. Characters such as Yamanami, he was supposed to die originally. In the original, he died during the war before Yamato got there. And we'll see what happens with Sasha. But speaking of that, another prediction I have is it's either going to happen in this season, sometime in this series, or it's going to happen in the next one, which almost certainly will be Final Yamato. I think Yamanami is going to die. I think Yamanami at this point, his character arc has really reached its zenith, and I don't really see much else happening with him. I didn't even see him in this trailer either. But I'm definitely thinking that he's probably going to be killed off at some point, if not in this chapter, then possibly in the next one. Is what I'm leaning toward. And it's going to be some kind of noble, brave sacrifice that gets everybody teary-eyed. But that's another prediction. I think Yamanami's going to die. I think Alphon's going to die. The other thing is, I think Ginga is definitely going to rise up, and we're going to see Ginga's full potential revealed, just as we saw Yamato's in the last chapter. So we saw a glimpse of it in the very first chapter when Ginga fired her main guns, and I was very impressed that she pulled that one off. But I think we're actually going to see now a change where Ginga's crew has figured out how the Cosmo Reverse actually works, or at least the Cosmo Reverse has figured out that it needs to trust these people. And so they have a fully functioning ship. That's what I think is going to happen here. Ginga's full potential is going to be unlocked as well, and I'm really looking forward to that. The next thing I think is probably going to happen here is Yamato is going to completely fuck up history, if she hasn't already. Surprise, surprise. And then in order to try and unfuck history, which somehow becomes a predestination paradox because she fucked it up, it ends up working out the way it was supposed to. Again, that's why I think she's in 2026. She's going to find a way back through the hole. And however she does that, and possibly in the process, either that's when this happens, or more likely, what I think more likely is Desarium takes control of the ship through the people it's already corrupted, through Analyzer, whoever it is that's on board. I don't know if it's Sasha. Actually, you know what? I think actually at this point I'm going to make a pretty bold prediction. I'm going to say that Desarium let Sasha escape, right? Because we already know Mother's been holding back information from her top people, right? We saw that with Alphon and that base. I think when Sasha escaped, Mother Desarium put something in her that was set to activate at a specific point. Whether that was a specific time or specific circumstances, whatever it was. That's what I think. It's either Sasha who does it or it's Analyzer who does it. But somebody on that ship is Desarium infiltrated. And they use that to their advantage to take over the ship. That's what I think is going on. Whether or not I'm leaning heavily toward it being Sasha at the moment. I think Sasha is unintentionally a Desarium agent. And of course, Yamato evading the tower there. Again, cutting it close. Stop watching the Top Gun. You're not a fighter jet. Makoto trying to break out Ginga's first officer. I can never remember or pronounce her name. And then that's going to be what allows Ginga to be rescued. So another prediction, I definitely think that it's probably going to be in the battle on board Yamato between the Desarium people and Yamato's regular crew who have not been converted. That's when I think Yamanami's killed. Either Desarium kills him outright, or either Doman or Agatha kills him outright, or he's injured or he's killed at some point later on in the fight. But that's what I think is happening. And then, of course, the final prediction for me is Ginga escapes the moon and becomes the new flagship of the Resistance because you don't have the Asuka anymore. The Asuka was captured, and the Hyuga's been brought down. So you just got the Ginga at this point, really, and maybe the Aldebaran. But we haven't seen the Aldebaran. I'd like to see the Aldebaran, but we haven't seen her since the first episode. I think we're also going to see Director Toto again as well because it was mentioned that he had disappeared. They didn't know where he was. I think he's running covert ops on the moon. That's what I think is going on at this point. And Sarazawa is still on Earth, coordinating everything or whatever. That's what I think is happening. But I think we'll see Toto again, and he's going to be leading the Resistance at this point. And is the one who gives the go-ahead for the Ginga team to get Ginga out of there once and for all. So that's what I think is going to happen. Ginga is going to join the Resistance and kick some Desarium ass, which I would pay good money to see. If it actually happened. But we'll see what, we'll see. That's what I'm really hoping for that. I'm really hoping for that. Yeah, I mean, just look at that. Look at that. That's some serious power right there. So that's what I think. So, again, I think Yamanami's going to be killed. I think Alphon's going to be killed in this chapter. I also think that Sasha is the Desarium infiltrator at this point on the Yamato that causes all this chaos on the Yamato. I think that Ginga's crew and Ginga herself, they've all finally unlocked all their full potential, and I think the Resistance starts the last major battle in this episode, in this chapter, and some Desarium ass gets seriously kicked is what I think. So yeah, that's my set of predictions. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. I always love hearing from you guys, and yeah, have a good day.